यथाग्निर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हि या सर्वविद्या स्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्. As the power to burn dwells in fire, so Sharada dwells in Ramakrishna as a Shakti, the cosmic power. I bow down to that mother who is the embodiment of knowledge. May she protect us and guide us to the path of blessedness. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be with all. This morning our subject is, thus I have heard about Holy Mother. A bird cannot fly with one wing. It needs two wings to fly. So when God incarnates, He does not come alone. He comes with His Shakti, power. Shiva and Shakti. The male principle and the female principle. Same consciousness manifests in two channels, and that brings creation. As we find in the other avatars, Rama came with Sita, Krishna with Radha, Buddha with Yashodhara, Chaitanya with Vishnupriya, Ramakrishna with Sharada. They are not humans. They are gods and goddesses from the above. But they take human form. How do they take the human form? You see, people are born out of their own karma and to fulfill their desire. God has no karma, no desire. And if you do not have desire, you cannot enter in the realm of Maya. Very mysterious phenomenon. So Krishna mentioned in the Gita, Ajopi san abhyatma bhutanam ishwaropi san. I am Ajo, I am birthless, I am the God of all beings. I subdue my Prakriti and embrace my Maya, own Maya, and take the human form. So the divine form, Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, all the forms you see, it is the form, it's name and form, no doubt, but they are very different, special. They are playing in two roles on the same stage. They are God as well as human being. We cannot do that. We only play in one stage, in one role, human. They play two roles simultaneously. So they are special. Krishna mentioned, why do they born? Krishna answered, Dharma sangastapanarthaya, puritranayo sadhunam vinasaya cha dushkritam, dharma sangastapanarthaya sambhavami juge juge. Three things. First, to protect the holy, good people, to punish or destroy the wicked, and to establish religion. They come to this world. Now the question arises, to protect the good and destroy the wicked, you don't need a human form. That they can do it from heaven or the above. Sitting there, they can do it because they have infinite power. But one thing they cannot do is sitting in heaven, dharma samsthapan. They cannot establish religion in this world. Why? Because they have to demonstrate an ideal life, adarsha, ideal, role model, purushottama. That is the word we find in the Gita, purushottama. So to demonstrate religion in this earth to human beings, God has to come here. Very, very interesting, you know. Manushya Sharir. Rama came to demonstrate what is truth. Krishna demonstrated what is true religion. Buddha demonstrated ahimsa, non-violence. Jesus demonstrated love. Ramakrishna demonstrated mainly samannaya, harmony of religions. Swamiji mentioned various things, the main purposes of Sri Ramakrishna's advent. Samshaya Rakshasa Nasha Mahastram. He came to destroy the greatest demon one can think of, doubt. Sri Ramakrishna knocked out doubt through demonstrating his spiritual experiences through samadhi and through life. God can be seen. God can be experienced. Sri Ramakrishna demonstrated. He brought harmony of four yogas, of our different religious paths and philosophies. So there are many things Sri Ramakrishna did, anyhow. And he was Tyageshwara. He was the God of the supreme renunciation. One thing Sri Ramakrishna could not do. He could not establish Garhastha Dharma, householder's life. That he did through Holy Mother. Very interesting. If you read Mother's life, you see he is in the domestic setup, practicing domestic life, householder's life. At the same time, she is a nun. This Garhastha Dharma, householder's life, is very, very important. According to Vedantic tradition, our 4 stages of life, student's life, householder's life, retired life, and monastic life. Only the Garhastha Dharma, householder's life, is the basis of our social setup. If the householder's life are shaky, the society is shaky. We need a strong householder's life. I remember in 1977 I was in Vrindavan, and I was talking with Swami Sarvadeshanandaji, Mother's disciple. He asked me, what do you do in America? Uncle Maharaj, we try to teach Vedanta and teachings of Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother, and teach them how to lead good householder's life. You see, the broken home has no peace. We know the poor, pitiable condition of the children of the broken home. They go through agony, pain, misery, instability, uncertainty. I was thinking, here is a disciple of Holy Mother, sitting in Vrindavan in his small room, thinking of the welfare of the American people. Amazing. Holy Mother was born in 1853, passed away in 1920. He lived 67 years. She was married when he was 5 years, 5 months old. Of course, she went to her husband when she was 18. At that time, child marriage was in custom in India. And their marriage life was 27 years. But she lived with Sri Ramakrishna only 9 and 10 years. As we find, Sri Ramakrishna appeared before these devotees in various forms. Kali, Shiva, Krishna, Radha, Ram, Sita, all gods, and Sri Ramakrishna took the form of all gods and goddesses. That is the reason we call him Sarva Deva Devi Sarupaya Sri Ramakrishnaya Namah. O Ramakrishna, we bow down to you, who is the embodiment of all gods and goddesses. Holy Mother similarly took various forms. He took Kali form, and the robber who attacked Mother saw her in Kali form. Horish saw him in Bogala form. Surendranath Sen saw him in Saraswati form. Several disciples saw him in Jagadhatri form. Anyhow, she also took various forms. Swami Chetanananda one day told, you know, one day in Jairambati, Holy Mother was telling us, you know, I am a daughter of Ram Mukherjee. Like me, there are many women, girls are in Jairambati village. But why so many people from distant places come to me? They bow down to me, they bring things for me. When I ask them, who are you? Somebody says, I am a judge, I am a lawyer, I am a doctor. They are very top, famous people, they come here. Is there any difference in me? Then Bharata Maharaj asked, Mother, do you remember your true nature time to time? All the time? Oh no, all the time I don't remember. Then how can I function? But if necessary, I can, very quickly I can go back to my real nature. I can see myself. Then I think, what am I doing here? She knew who she was. Somebody asked, well, we see Sri Ramakrishna many times in Samadhi, in Gospel when we read, but we don't see Samadhi in Holy Mother. Swami Shantananda replied, you want to make Holy Mother like ordinary sadhika, spiritual aspirant? She does not need to demonstrate Samadhi, she can give Samadhi. That is our Holy Mother. Anyhow, I shall now tell you about what I heard about Holy Mother. It was in 1960, I was visiting Holy Mother's house from 1950. I was 14 years old, 8th grade. My elder brother reintroduced me with some monks there. Two disciples of Holy Mother were then, Swami Sundarananda, who was the editor of Udbodhan, and Swami Bhudharananda, Ganesh Maharaj. He was in charge of the proofreading department, and Swami Advayananda, Samatmananda, Premarupananda, then Shatyan Maharaj, Atma Bodhananda. These are very, very elderly monks are in Udbodhan. So I used to go there every Sunday. I used to see many disciples of the Mother would come to Udbodhan and stay there for a few days. There is no room. there is a right side entered the right side room. They used to eat there, and then they will wipe it out. And then at night they will spread the mat and a pillow, and they'll sleep there. I still remember those days. Holy Mother did not go to school, did not give any lecture. Anyhow. Later, when I joined the Ramakrishna Order in Advaita Ashrama, I came in 1958, December. Then officially I joined in 1960. My job was in Advaita Ashrama, the new building, not old. There is a lecture hall. Every Sunday there will be a lecture. And I was in charge of the loudspeaker, the sound system. Microphone, speaker, I had to operate that machine. So many speakers, many Swamis would come and speak. Swami Bhuteshananda spoke, Swami Gomirananda, many other famous Swamis. So once Swami Ishanananda, Baroda Maharaj, gave a talk on Holy Mothers. So I still remember many of his stories. Of course, many of those stories are already published in the book, but I shall tell you in my own way. Baroda Maharaj was with Holy Mother when he was 11 years old. His father was a devotee of Holy Mother. And next 11 years, he was an attendant of Holy Mother. He lived both in Kualpara and Jarambachi and Calcutta. Blessed soul, a blessed soul. When he used to talk about Holy Mother, tears would come from his eyes. Baroda Maharaj told this story. Sindhubala's story. While he was giving the talk in Advaita Ashrama, in Jutubihar village, Deven Ghosh, he had a wife named Sindhubala. His sister's name was Sindhubala. One of them was pregnant, but one of them was involved with the freedom movement. The police came and arrested both of them and took to the police station quite a distance. And one of them was pregnant in advanced age. Oof! The news came to Jarambachi. Mother was very upset. And she was very, very upset. She was thinking, is it the British rule or it is the police officer who treated this way? Some people said we shall give a palanquin, but they did not allow her to go by palanquin. So they forced her to walk. Mother was very upset. They said those who treat this way, their empire will not last long. Then in the evening, the news came that they released them. Anyhow, Mother said, if I did not hear that, I would not get any sleep. That story he told us. Then he told that how Swami Brahmananda would visit Holy Mother. When he would go and I was behind him, I saw his feet was trembling. He would go to the mother, Mother, how are you? I am all right. How are you, my son? Mother, I am all right. Mother, how is Radhu? In this way, my son, then Holy Mother would bless him. He has a special way to show her affection. You see, Brahmananda was Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual son. So when Brahmananda would bow down, mother would put her 3 fingers with the chin, like this. Then this is the way he used to touch his lips, and mother would put his hand on his head, and that is the way he blessed and showed her affection to Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual son. That he used to do, the devotees also. Anyhow, then mother would send some prasad, carry this prasad, some sweets and flower fruits, and Boroda Maharaj took the plate to Swami Brahmananda. Brahmananda said, then Sharad Maharaj said, Maharaj, you will take the all prasad, will you not share something with me? Maharaj said, well, Sharad, you are here, you are getting prasad every day, and I come occasionally, and you want to share from it. But I will have to give to you because you are the you are the gatekeeper of the mother. If I do not give you, you won't allow me to go to the mother. But Maharaj, it is you appointed me. Sometimes their Jari disciples, their conversations are very, very interesting, very humorous. Then Boroda Maharaj told another story. Some Kualpara women, village women, came to Calcutta with Holy Mother, and Mother arranged their visit Dakshineshwar, Belur Math, and other places of interest in Calcutta. Then when they went to Belur Math, in the evening they came back to Udbodhan, Mother's house. Mother was asking, did you see Belur Math? This Master's shrine, the disciples of the Master? Oh yes, we saw, but we have never seen some big cows with big udder. But the Maharaj used to laugh. অত বড় গরু দেখিনি আর তার বড় পালান আমার কামারপুকুর জয়রামবাটি, those cows are very emaciated, not so big, small cows. You know, Boroda Maharaj says, Drishtivhangi, people's outlook, what they see. Holy Mother was reminding, did you go to the shrine? Did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see Dakshineshwar? But they are talking about, oh yes, all those things we saw, but we have never seen such cows. Boroda Maharaj was humorously tell that story. It was in 1919. Some devotees wanted Mother's footprint. They were fighting. So Mother said, Boroda, you go to Kualpara and buy some cloth and some red paint. We call it alta, red paint. You bring. So Boroda Maharaj went and brought and made 32 pieces of footprints of Holy Mother. Just so that the devotees and the women there will not have to fight. Let everyone has one, should have one. One Boroda Maharaj got. That one, I got it. It was Boroda Maharaj, I knew it. I knew that footprint because he stapled on a board and wrapped it in a cloth. And wherever he would go, he would take that one with him. So, Boroda Maharaj died in 1973. Then 1986, when I was in India, I saw that cloth to our Rohini Maharaj. Uncle Maharaj showed me, Uncle Maharaj, this footprint you will have to give to me. Oh, no, after my death you will get. Uncle, no, when you will die in Banaras, shall I come here? Somebody will take away, you will have to give to me. So he gave to me, I brought it here and we framed it and put it in the shrine below Master's throne. Mother's footprint. Maharaj talked about Suresh Diksha. This young man was a revolutionary in the Sundarban area. He was there and then he came to Holy Mother, to Jairambaji. And the abbot, Swami Keshavananda, said, you cannot just stay here. Every evening the police comes and checks the roll, that who are here, who is coming, who is going. They are thinking that some revolutionary people are hiding here. You cannot just stay here. I have come here for initiation. Then he is going to bow down to mother. Then mother told Baroda Maharaj, could you keep this young man in somebody's house for one night? Tomorrow early in the morning I shall initiate him. So Baroda Maharaj took him to the college outside shrine, the big Chunji Mondop, a big open shrine. One night he fed him and kept him there. Next morning he took bath and waiting on the street. From those we have seen Kualpara Ashrama and Jagadamba Ashrama. Jagadamba Ashrama mother used to stay. So mother was going on the street. Mother says, right now I shall initiate you on the street. It is a village path, not a big street. I don't think it is a big street. A few people are there. So on the grass, mother, shall I bring some asana? Baroda Maharaj said, no, give some straw. He sat on some straw and he gave some straw to that young man to sit. Then mother sprinkled some water on his head and gave the mantra. And then Baroda Maharaj says, mother, shall we bring something? Well, bring some mishri, rock candy, from my room. Mother touched it on his tongue and gave to him and said, my son, after lunch, you go to Kamarpukur. Don't just stay here at night. Police will come. Go to Kamarpukur and then there you will stay at night and then you go back. Mother initiated on the street. Baroda Maharaj humorously used to tell the story of the mother's brothers' fight. And one brother's name was Baroda, and another brother's name is Kali, another is Prasanna. Another brother died, so 3 brothers are alive. So these 2 brothers are fighting because they have, farm, so they have a courtyard where they keep their paddy. So somebody encroached others' area, so they had fight. So mother jumped between they are almost with their hands, fighting. Mother jumped between, pushing this brother, you are responsible, then this brother, you are responsible. In this way, 2 brothers are fighting, and mother pushed them, then he shouted. Then the monks came. At that time, the 2 brothers left. And then mother sat on the veranda and was smiling. What a shame, what a shame. This world is full of Maya. This place is very temporary and still they are fighting for the little land and all those things. Baroda Maharaj, that story, but I saw mothers, her, generally she has to keep a veil, but I saw mothers here are gone and, she is disabled here, pushing 2 brothers on both sides in the courtyard. Then Baroda Maharaj told the story of Shibuda, Shivaram, Sri Ramakrishna's nephew. He was Holy Mother's godchild also. So he told Shibuda's story. One day, at noontime, Shibuda came to Jarambati from Kamarpukur, nearly 4 miles distance. Then saying, Aunt, I shall stay here tonight. But who will do the Vesper worship in the temple? Well, I already put God to bed. But my goodness, is this way you serve our family deity, Raghubir? After lunch, take rest and then go back. Then Baroda Maharaj, I shall give some fruits and some vegetables you carry with him. So Baroda Maharaj carried and going to the middle of in between Kamarpukur and Jarambati, Amarpur. Then Baroda Maharaj returned, again he came back. Aunt, you are again back? Aunt, tell me who you are. People say that you are Kali. But I am your aunt. Well, no, you will have to tell me, otherwise I won't go. Yes, I am Kali. Then Bharata Maharaj told us that story, I vividly remember. And Amjad's story also, Bharata Maharaj told us that he was a Muslim, he was a bandit, robber. And Holy Mother hired him for building her new house in 1916, mud house. Floor mud, all four sides mud, there is one door, one window, and the thatched hut. So, you see, Holy Mother is very tactful. She knew that her nieces, they have some ornaments, jewelry, there should be robbery. But there are other robberies in other villages, but no robbery in Jarambaji because of Holy Mother. He gave job to them. She bought their vegetables, their fruits, so that they can have some money. You see, if the economy side is strong, you will find there will be less crime rate, less theft and robbery. How Mother tactfully helped these poor people in the village. Then Bharata Maharaj told another funny story about this robber. Holy Mother was a village woman, but she used to take her jewelry or their neighbor's jewelry and put it into the mudi, puffed rice. There is a bag of puffed rice. He used to put all jewelry inside the puffed rice when they would travel, so that if the robbers attack, they will not find the jewelry. Very intelligent. He told us the story of Majibo, boatman's wife. She used to carry the devotees' luggage from Kualpara to Jarambaji, another 4 miles, crossing the Amoda river. The people would come by bullock cart and stay in Kualpara, then Jarambaji. What happened? Some months this woman did not come. So after a few months when she came, Holy Mother said, Majibo, I did not see you for a long time. Mother, nowadays I go for work here and there. My son, who is earning money, he died. For the reason your devotees do not see me. Oh, your son died. Immediately Mother burst into tears and cried loudly, holding the post of her veranda. Perhaps you have seen Mother's old house. Holding that post, she was crying. All people, the neighbors, all assembled there. So that woman was crying, that Majiba was crying, Mother was also crying. Then what happened? Holy Mother gave her some mudi and some gur and some oil and took away the grief from her heart. The Bharata Maharaj said, as if she raked the grief from the heart of that woman who lost her son. So sympathizing through empathy, crying for this person. But she has a wonderful way to help people. The Jaipur Chochi's story, Bharata Maharaj told us. as you will have to understand, from Vishnupur to Jarambachi, 26 miles. They used to come bullock cart. It will change 12 hours. They used to give a break journey. There are different inns are there. They call it Choti. So in Jaipur Choti, it is 8 miles from Vishnupur. So they stop there for lunch. How they cook their food? In the inn, they have, you will have to buy rice, dal, some vegetables and fruits, whatever you can, some spices, salt. So the pilgrims, generally, the travelers, they have some oven, so earthen oven. So they cook food. They have a earthen jar where you can cook food. So they are cooking food for, I think, quite a few people, 12, 15 people. So the rice swelled. And when the cook was trying to empty the water from the rice, the cooking pot broke. And the all rice, some are on the broken cooking pot and some on the grass. Bas. Holy Mother was informed. Immediately she came. What is the matter? Oh, nothing wrong. The dal and vegetable what you have cooked, that is fine. And this rice, let me tell you what happened to the rice. She raked the rice from the top. She took the rice and mixed with the dal and vegetables. She made some balls and gave everybody in a shal leaf and said, we cannot wait here because we will have to cross this Shalbone. There is a forest area is there, infested with robbers. We'll have to cross before evening. So that was the way. But and Bordhamara said the way she offered that food, she opened her that tin box and put Sri Ramakrishna in the front and then took some food in a shal leaf and talked to Sri Ramakrishna. Master, today this is the food we can afford to offer to you. Please buy quickly, eat quickly, we'll have to go. But we are laughing, watching the way she was offering food to the Master. When we read the book, we cannot visualize those things. But when that person talks, we could visualize. Amazing. That mother's new house, and every year mother used to go to Jarambachi during Jagadhatri Puja. Jagadhatri Puja falls generally in November. So Jagadhatri Puja is a big function in Jarambachi. Many people come, the Jebujis and the other villagers. So in the evening, there will be some performance, jatra, theatre, some open-air theatre, then music, singing. So there is a Shadbede village where Lalu Jele, Lalu is a fisherman, he was a gospel singer. Sorry, not gospel singer, he was a baul singer. So he wanted to give a performance in Jarambachi. So he came to Holy Mother. You see, in the village, do you know how do they address? Oh, Didi, or Pishi. Pishi means aunt, or sister, or Ma. In this way, they address each other. Whole village, Dada, Didi, they are all related. Anyhow, as a Pishi, I shall play the performance, Jatra, baul song here. Mother says, no, I cannot set up the canopy and lighting and spreading carpet. Oh, I cannot do all those things. You do not have to think anything. But Lalu, you sing some songs in the shrine, that will be enough. But no, I shall give the performance. And don't worry everything. So he put some short means some kind of cloth they make from jute fiber. That is called chort. He put some bamboo post and put some chort on the top like a canopy, and put a post, and in post he ties a kerosene lantern, hurricane. It is village. And do you know what did he do? He took his drum and just started to beat and inviting all villagers. This evening there will be a performance, please come. So all villagers came in the evening, and he came with his small trunk where his long dress and his ektara, that string, one string instrument. So when he opened the trunk, some cockroaches came out. Then Nolini became mad at him. You rogue, you have come here to release the cockroaches in our house. You close your trunk and get out from this place. But Lalu did not care Nolini. He got the permission from Holy Mother. He put on his red long dress and put his turban on and took his tanpura and started to sing a song. I shall read the Bengali song to you. It is so funny. সংসারকে সার ভাবে যে সেই তো মূঢ়, এই ভবের মাঝে ভেবে দেখো কে কার বাপ কে কার খুড়ো। যখন বৃদ্ধকালে দন্ত যাবে, খেতে হবে ভাই মুড়ির গুঁড়ো। No, one line I forgot. এখন আলবোলাতে টানছে চামাক, শব্দ হচ্ছে গড়র গড়র, যখন বৃদ্ধকালে দন্ত যাবে খেতে হবে ভাই মুড়ির গুঁড়ো। These are the 4 lines. Listen, O mind, who is your father? Bap, Kuro, who is your uncle? If you think this world is real, then you are stupid. Kekar Bap, Kekar Kuro. Sangsarke, if you think this world is real, then you are dull-headed. Who is your father? Who is your uncle? Now, sitting in your room, gorgorate tanche tamak, shabdo ache goror goror. When you are smoking the pipe of the tobacco, it comes through the water. The prat, 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 goror goror sound comes. And যখন বৃদ্ধকালে দন্ত যাবে খেতে হবে, যখন in the old age when you lose your teeth, you will have to eat the puff rice powder. You cannot buy it, so they make powder. You know, I was reading that Swami Sharadeshananda's reminiscences. Holy Mother, when sometimes she had she lost some tooth in the side. So what she would do, she would take the corner of her cloth in this way, and then when they make the spices or nora, stone, the pestle, they used to press the spices. So that nora, that Holy Mother would keep muri there, and then he used to hit and make that muri, puffed rice, powder, and that he used to mix with some oil, mustard oil, a little salt, and chili. That was her favorite food. Village people, you see. The Durgapuri told another story. A snake charmer came to the village. There were different baskets, cobra, various kinds of snakes. They show this snake show, and they play dug-dugi, dug-dug-dug-dug-dug-dug-dug-dug, and they play and they show this snake charm. And villagers came and mother gave a couple of rupees to that person and a piece of cloth. Then, well, do you know what happened? Then mother blessed that snake charmers because he bowed down to the mother. Then mother said, then Nolini became very upset. You touched that fellow? He touched a snake and he touched you, and you touched her. You touched him. Mother said, what can I do? He took the dust of my feet. I must bless him. That's his mother. Bharata Maharaj told many stories. I shall tell some other Swami's a few stories to you. Parameswarananda, Kishori Maharaj. First time I went to Jairambati in 1961 or 62, during Durga Puja time, I remember. I took the train from Howrah to Tarokeshwar. From Tarokeshwar, I took a bus to Chapajanga. Chapajanga, I crossed a river. I think that is Munjeshwari. Then I took another bus, then went to Arambagh. Then I crossed another river, Darukeshwar. Then took another bus and went to Kamarpukur, Jarambaji. And now you will not have to cross rivers, all are bridges. Within 2.5 hours or 2 hours you can go from Calcutta to Kamarpukur, Jarambaji, anyhow. Oh, those days are something. No electricity, no running water. At that time, Kamarpukur, Jarambaji was a real village. Now it has become city. I remember I took bath in that well water which was dug for mother. I think once I bathed in the Amuda river also. One story really penetrated inside me, Parameswarananda's story. The drinking water in Jarambaji was very bad. People would take water, drink water from Banerjee's pond, entrance of the Jarambaji village. People would bathe there, wash their clothes there, all kinds of water goes and drink that same water. And invariably you will get dysentery. Mother would suffer from dysentery quite often because of that bad water. So, Parameswaranandaji, Kishori Maharaj, used to go to take bath in the Amoda river. And he used to dig the sand. And if you dig the sand from there, from the bottom, the water comes. That water he used to put in a pitcher and carry that water to the mother in Jarambaji village, in her home. So what happened? Mother first day saw the water and said, why did you bring this water from the bottom of the sand of Amoda river? You will not have to bring that water anymore. I drink, all villagers drink Banerjee's water, pond's water, you will not have to bring. Next day he did the same water he brought. I forbade you, you don't obey me. Mother, I go there for bath, I shall bring water. If you drink, fine, if not, fine. Third day again he brought water. Then mother really scolded him. Then said, Mother, you may scold me, but I shall bring water. I go there, I shall bring that water. If you do not want to drink it, mother, throw it out. Then Holy Mother said, my son, that water is really helping me. I forbade you because you will have to carry such a big pitcher of water such a long distance. It is hard on you. For that reason I forbade you not to bring water for me. You know, when we read these kind of stories, I think what is called love. Do you feel? All the incidents and episodes in mother's life teach us how to love, how to feel for others. That is called true spirituality to me. Another story I was very much impressed about. It was 1920, towards the end of Holy Mother's life. Chetanananda arranged to buy the plot of land where Holy Mother was born, so that in the future the disciples will make a temple there. So they bought the land from the Holy Mother's brothers. Then they came to know that that is not the real birthplace. Then Kishori Maharaj wrote to Mother in Udbodhan, and Mother wrote back, when I was born, one Bagdi woman, just such and such part of the southern side of our village was present. Inquire. She will be able to pinpoint the real birthplace. So Kishori Maharaj went to her and says, oh, Sharu's birthplace. She was an elderly, very elderly woman. I know where she was born, but you will have to give me 5 rupees. But yes, I shall give you 5 rupees. So she came and pointed out where Holy Mother was born. And that place is now the temple of Holy Mother. It was all Kishori Maharaj's way to get that place, you know. Swami Sharadeshanandaji, I met him twice, 1977 and 1986. His book on Mother's reminiscences are very popular. Many stories are there. Great sadhu. I asked him many questions about Mother. I asked Mother, what did you see in her? Nirubhiman, egoless. She had no ego. God has no ego. I asked Baroda Maharaj also, what did you see in her? Desireless, no desire. God has no desire. One story really stuck in me. That one night in Jairambati, at midnight, Gopesh Maharaj, Swami Sharadeshanandaji saw there is a light in the courtyard and somebody was moving. So he came and saw that Holy Mother was picking some broken glass or some other broken stone chips and all those things from the courtyard. Mother, what are you doing? It midnight here. That I can do the job. My son, I almost finished, only little is left. What are you doing? You see, there are some people came from Calcutta, and their children are walking barefooted. Some of the glasses and other things may cut their feet. That is the reason I am cleaning the courtyard. That story penetrated me. That is the reason she is the Holy Mother, Divine Mother. Do you feel that way for others? She demonstrated. I sometimes say, how many problems do you have? And how many problems she had. Amazing. Mother is really amazing. I remember Swami Japanandaji. He came to Advaita Ashrama. I think it was in 1968. He was in Ajmer. He came. Mataji's happy. I asked, Maharaj, tell me some story. He said, one day we three monks came from Belur to Udbodhan. And we are very sickly. Mother said, my sons, what happened? You are so lean and thin. The mother, in Belur we are suffering from malaria fever. And we drink only barley water. We do not have any milk. We do not have sufficient food either. Hearing that, mother was so upset. Holy Mother used to live upstairs and Swami Sharadananda downstairs in his office. Holy Mother called Sharadananda, oh Sharad, ki shunchi? Sharad, what I am hearing? Nobody heard her loud voice at all. Sharad Maharaj immediately left his office. He was big man, very heavy. He was climbing the steps very quickly and gasping. Came and said, Mother, what happened? Look what they say in Belur Math. No, there is no sufficient food, and these boys do not get even milk. They are suffering from malaria, they are emaciated. If people cannot manage Belur Math, I shall go there and I shall manage there. Mother, don't think, don't say anything. We shall manage right now. Right now, we are going to take care of it. Sharad Maharaj from Udbodhan went to Balaram Mandir. And Balaram Mandir, he went to Maharaj and told everything. Maharaj was grave. He asked my guru, Swami Shankarananda, he was the secretary. Go to Shambazar, buy flour, wheat, then ghee, fruits, all kinds of food, and take the boat from Calcutta to Belur Math, nearly 4 or 5 miles upstream. Take the boat and go to Belur Math. You see, for this reason, Holy Mother is our Sangha Janani. She is the mother of the Ramakrishna order. It was in 1917 or 18. The British people made a remark that Ramakrishna Mission is harboring the revolutionaries in the order. Many monks are there. So devotees stopped coming to Ramakrishna Mission. So it was a very difficult situation. Some devotees even suggested that those who joined the order, they should be thrown out from the order. When Holy Mother heard about it, she raised her voice, what? They left, they have no more connection with the political life. They have come, dedicated their lives for the work of the Master, they will stay. Then she asked Swami Sharadanandaji, you go and meet the Viceroy. Viceroy is at that time, British Viceroy was the head of the Indian Empire, anyhow. And explain to him. So Sharat Maharaj took lawyers, letters and all those things, and went to him and met him and said that you made this statement in Dhaka, it is not right, this and that. Then that Viceroy, I think it's a governor or Viceroy, withdrew his statement. It's seldom it happens. The British governor withdrew his statement because they know that Ramakrishna Mission does all kinds of philanthropic activities and how popular they are among the masses. There will be a revolution if Ramakrishna Mission is badly treated. Anyhow, so it was settled. But mother raised her voice. If all will be in the order and nobody will be in the order. She is our Sangha Janani. She is the guiding force of the Ramakrishna order. Well, my time is over. I have other many things to say, but anyhow, maybe some other time I may give another talk. I met many devotees, disciples of the mother. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matirupena Samastita Namastasya 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 Namo Namo. I bow down to the mother, who is the divine mother of all human beings. I bow down to her again and again. Om Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace be told.